Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I had a comment about expense ratios, so I wanted to make a quick video to show how fees affect my dividend income. So let's break it down. On this channel, I talk about all things finance, wealth building, and how you can achieve the life of your dreams through financial independence. If you want to join me on this journey to financial independence, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So, what exactly is an expense ratio? Well, basically, an expense ratio is a management fee you pay for owning an ETF or mutual fund. An ETF or mutual fund is a single stock that contains a bunch of companies. And that ETF was put together by an investment firm. And that firm manages the assets within that one ETF. The more work required to manage the assets inside, then the higher the expense ratios of the fund. Let's take a look at a few examples of this. First, we have VOO, Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF. This ETF contains all the stocks within the S&P 500. There's very little that needs to be managed with this fund. So this will be an example of a passively managed fund. The fund managers may make small allocation adjustments here and there, but overall it's left alone, so the expense ratio is a low 0.03%. What does this mean, you might ask? Well, it means if you owned $10,000 of this stock for 1 year, and if the stock went up by 0% in that 1 year, your $10,000 of stock would drop to $9,997. Since the fees are taken out of the NAV, or net asset value, which is the stock price. We as investors are not charged the management fees directly. The fund managers handle all the fee deductions on the back end, and that affects the stock price. Now, let's look at something with a high expense ratio, like one of the stocks from my Quadfecta investments. If you need a refresher on the Quadfecta, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. This is QYLD, a covered call ETF. The fund managers actively write options contracts against the stocks in this fund. This is what we would call an actively managed fund, because the fund managers are doing more work with the assets, trying to generate higher returns, or in the case of this stock, generate high income for the shareholders. This stock has an expense ratio of 0.6%. That's 20 times higher than that of VOO that I just showed you above. So let's do the math real quick. If you owned $10,000 of QYLD and it goes up by 0%, you would have $9,940. That is definitely a bit more loss to fees than VOO. But what happens if I add in the dividends? $10,000 of VOO at $400 per share equals 25 shares. Those 25 shares multiplied by $1.73 per share in annual dividends, so our total from the first example will be $9,997 plus $43.25, which equals $10,040.25. Now, let's look at the $10,000 of QYLD at $25 per share, which would give us 400 shares. Those 400 shares multiplied by $2.64 per share in annual dividends would be $1,056. So if we added that to our $9,940 of QYLD after fees, we would get a total of $10,996. With monthly dividends reinvested and compounding month over month, that number would actually be higher. But this is to calculate total return. What we care about is this number right here, the income generated. Fees will definitely affect total account value over time, but for our income portfolio, the fees are not actually affecting my passive income stream because I'm not selling my stocks to live off the income. Remember, the fees are taken out from the net asset value, which is the stock price, not from the dividend payouts. even if fees did cut a full percent off my dividend income. Let's say the portfolio pays me 8% instead of 9% because of fees. I can still live with that because I don't have to sell a single stock and I'm getting paid for doing nothing. With my covered call ETFs, the fund managers do more work, so they charge more fees. That's how it works. At the end of the day, I still get paid. So while it is true that management fees will eat into my gains, it's technically not eating into my passive income. While I do want all my stocks to appreciate in value, I know that this income portfolio will not have much organic growth. But that's not its purpose. Its purpose is to provide freedom through consistent income for the lowest cost. With this portfolio, I'm not as worried about fees as I would be with my long-term growth portfolio. In my long-term growth portfolio, I do try to keep fees as low as possible because I won't be touching the money for at least 25 years. But if I build this income portfolio correctly, I may never need to touch my growth portfolio, and I can let it keep growing to build generational wealth for my family. I hope this video helps answer some questions about expense ratios and how it might affect income and dividend investors. If you guys have any questions, please leave me a comment below. I try to reply to everyone. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.